Hello there.
What up, y'all?
What up, y'all doing all right?
Doing all right, doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
Good day, good day. I'm just going through the notes really quick, see where we at. I need to put working dogs, steward group phases, working doc. I know Ashley was joining. I think Lawrence is joining. I'll just wait a few minutes for them to join us before we get started. And trying to organize some things while we wait. All right, y'all, let's check in while we wait for others to join us. What's going on in y'all world? How y'all weekend been going?
My weekend's been going pretty good. I My feet are killing me. I went on a 3.5 mile walk yesterday. I joined this hiking meetup group and I did not wear the right shoes, so I'm suffering today, but it was good because it was a beautiful park called Cauley Creek, I want to say, in Johns Creek. It was a beautiful park, beautiful views. It was really nice, but yeah, I'm paying for it. But good other than that. Got some gardening done too, got some stuff planted yesterday too.
Okay, cool. So, anybody else want? How you feeling? How your weekend going?
Mine's is going pretty well. Been busy. The start of school for the schools that we work with is tomorrow. So getting things together. That and been out in the garden. Been out in the garden, just preparing for the fall. So been doing those two things.
What
Very
what school
interesting.
what school system you work with?
These are just like micro schools, so it's not a specific school system, but micro schools and um, other alternative learning communities. So
Got it. Cool.
yeah,
Doing some of the like work that you were sharing with me, like with the young men and all that type of stuff, or you do some different stuff too?
I do that, and me and Deani, we team up and do some other stuff with the kids. So I do the boys. That's just for me, and when we team up, we do students co-ed basically with those schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Which micro schools do you
yeah,
work
that's
at?
what I'm saying. Is it like a whole network? Like, yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, we first got into the arena through Black Micro Schools ATL.
Mhm.
So there's Tread, Ferguson. Um, it's like a cohort of them,
Mhm.
and it's
Hmm.
steadily growing. But
That's
yeah, we got a cohort
y'all go on person or is all virtual?
in person. Yeah, in person, and we meet with each school one time a week.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's what's up.
That's what's up. Mhm.
I want to learn. I definitely want to learn more about that.
Yeah, I can send you that. So it's Black Micro Schools ATL.
Okay.
That's what most of the micro schools are. Some of them haven't joined the cohort, but yeah, people mostly um, go through that.
Okay,
Black
it's
micro school.
conventional. It's more like conventional school, just small schools.
No, well, it depends on what you mean by conventional school. Like some of them are like homeschool hybrid.
Hmm.
Um, I guess you could say they're structured like a conventional school, but the learning environment is not conventional.
Okay.
It's like a public school. I know out there towards y'all have Epic Homeschool Network. Heard of now?
Uh,
Yeah, I heard it epic.
Yeah, Epic. It's a homeschool co-op. I believe they're a co-op. Slayton Adventures.
Yeah, I heard it in too.
Yeah,
okay.
and I think
And
Heritage. I don't know if
mhm.
Heritage out there. Heritage Homeschool. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Heritage is in Cobb.
Oh, okay. They're co-op. Okay.
So y'all work with them too? Heritage and Epic?
Oh no, they're too far for us
Okay.
to really go out there. But we still like keep a good network. Well, keep a good relationship with those further out schools.
Cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool. What's up with you, Kenisha? How you doing? How your weekend going?
Yeah, seriously. Oh, I know I was off mute.
You on mute now? I mean, you're off mute, Kenisha. I don't know if you knew.
Okay. Hey, I'm doing well. I'm doing my not going back to school celebration this week
Cool.
in LA, and then also visiting family and going to the beach. We're doing some oceanography at the beach and some earth science. Um, and visiting family. And I'm about to get ready to go to this farmers market that they have here this Sunday and talk about collectively sustainable a little bit.
Nice.
Doing good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What's good? What's good, Seals? And see, we got another guest there. Remind me of your name. If off top, I'm not getting it, not remembering.
Yes, I'm Nicole.
Nicole, what's going on, Nicole? Good to see you
I'm
again.
good to see you guys. I think I met everybody already.
Yes.
Hey, Kanisha.
Hey.
It was good, Ashley. I think I saw Lawrence's arm in there at one point.
Yeah, he'll be back. He coming back.
Cool. How y'all weekend going?
Good so far. A lot of planning. Just a lot of planning.
Nice. Nice, nice. All right. Well, give me a second. I want to turn my light on real quick. All right. All right, y'all. So I watched the recording from our last time together. When I wasn't there, y'all's last time together without me, for those who were at the last meetup 2 weeks ago. And basically I saw that Lawrence gave the presentation, which I thought was like really dope, um, on the off-grid community blueprint doc. And I guess I like to just start there, just see if we can just have some communication about what was shared, any questions. I know y'all hit it. I know anyone who wasn't there, like me, I know anyone, let me see, was it just me? Other than, of course, Nicole, I think this is Nicole's first time, but was it all of y'all were here except for just me? I don't remember who was
Here
there.
for what?
Lawrence's presentation on the off-grid community blueprint.
No, I missed it.
Okay. Um, yeah. All right. Well, I feel like, man, you laid it out perfectly, man. I'm just trying to see if like we want to pick up there, maybe ask any questions. Anyone have any after further processing? Are there any questions? That's kind of where we are, where we left off in terms of our phases is phase number 3, land search, housing, off-grid energy, design, food production systems, security, and defense. And from my understanding, I feel like, Lawrence, you covered a lot of those components in that doc. And the next step would just be, you know, I feel like you and Ashley said in that video was like going and actually looking at some land, getting an idea, getting some links maybe just to look at like what's available out there, how much it's costing nowadays, anything like that. But can Ashley, I know you facilitated last time. If you can want to jump in, help me, kind of level set where we are and where you think we should go next. Lawrence, please jump in with what y'all think.
Yeah. Well, first I'm gonna say you wanna.
I think that I know that we're supposed to be going to marketing and outreach next. Again, I think we concluded on that we're probably looking at over 100 acres. So with that in mind, that's money, y'all. So when we think about marketing and outreach, I want us to keep that in mind for over 100 acres. And we spoke about why it would be over 100 acres and conservation of land and all those things. So, yeah, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah. So the biggest thing that I was really pointing out last week or the last time we talked was more so in the lines of that 100-acre parcel and like the main resource being the human resource, and that we have to really start to cultivate the skill set now. So it's no like to go and look for land is kind of like we're putting the carriage before the horse. So we need to actually have the people with the skills and then go look for the land. So right now, again, just to echo the concept of the stewardship center being really like central to the construction of the community. I think that's kind of where we are with just understanding that we're going to have to start beefing up our wheelhouse. So I think I've been thinking about it since the last talk, and I think I want to kind of propose maybe our meetings start to shift to maybe we only need to meet once a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then secondly, I think our meetings need to be like a moving caliber. So we need to start to actualize some of these things. We can start doing this double dig. We can start doing, carrying mulch or understanding, the ecology of a system. So that way, when we do get the land, we're already prepared to steward the land. So I think that's kind of what I wanted to propose this meeting.
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect. Because that's where I was going to ask, like, kind of hit the reset and say, okay, what's next? Where do we go from here? Because we have a pretty solid blueprint in terms of the foundational elements on like what we're organizing towards. Like you said, so now it's like, all right, we got to start filling in some blanks. So, how do we do that? And that's where, like you said, the stewardship center construct of being that filtration device for the people that want to be with us in this context and what skills they have. So that looks like, I'm thinking, Lawrence, the way you laid it out before was a bunch of skills, and then like people having like, multiple. I feel like we need to start filling in. Like, is it like a spreadsheet type thing where we just fill in, start putting names next to the skills and like start checking that box? I think that would be a cool exercise or something to do. And even starting with us, like even if we took time today for all of us to place ourselves, on that spreadsheet, on that doc, and what skills that we have that would be necessary going forward, as like a necessary next step.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, yeah, that'd be something that's worthwhile for our meeting today, for sure. Just to see what kind of things we have in the box already. So yeah, I'm down with that. That sounds good to me.
I was also thinking, I know that we said, there's certain skill sets that we need first. And let's say carpentry. And I was wondering if we could have someone that almost did like a carpentry course that some of the community members could take in order to, kind of like forward us in these skill sets. Because we know we have, agriculture and we can teach that as a community. But like things like you're doing authentic dialogue, and Mello spoke of having
Security.
we do need security, but it was something else Mello spoke of having the skill set of. And it's it wasn't authentic dialogue, but
Everybody being a conflict.
resolution, something,
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
something
Jogging
along.
my memory. Yeah.
So we have those skills within the community to kind of like train up people so we could be ready. But we know one of the most important things is going to be shelter. And it doesn't matter what form of housing we choose, we're still going to need carpentry as a skill set.
Mhm.
So I was even thinking like, okay, so how do we get, us kind of like trained up in that way?
So is it, I mean, I guess I was going to say, we also want to attract, like as part of the marketing outreach, we want to attract carpenters, right? So in my mind, I guess that would be like a both and, um, I guess a both and with like a lot of these things, like just for the sake of conversation, like how does that look in terms of going out and intentionally naming, who we're looking to attract versus us upskilling.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a quick question. When we're off mic, you don't hear echo, do you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. All right, so yeah, I think doing just that. I think you got to name it to claim it. So if we write down as detailed as possible, literally the list of personnel needed to manage our 100-acre eco village, like we can start to really manifest it in that capacity, like really detail what we're doing, how we're doing it, who we need. And then it's almost like how we were doing with the 87 acres. It was going to just be like a marketing schematic. So, yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, is like really be fine tuned about it, and really like understand who we're looking for, and then just put it out there.
So I'm wondering, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering, instead of like focusing on the personnel, have we talked about like the different infrastructures that we want to have on there, um, on the land? And then maybe from there we can figure out what personnel we need for each individual infrastructure. Like I know we talked about different types of housing, but maybe we could start talking about like landing on exactly what housing we want to have and landing on our infrastructure.
Yeah, I
And
think. Go ahead, Kanisha.
no, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think like Booby just said, like I think the internal infrastructure can just be very basic, like carpentry, plumber, mechanic, like those things are just basic. We can't really delve into housing structure until we know where we're going to live, because some places have zoning ordinances where we can't
Right.
do this particular build, and you know what I mean. So we still have to be flexible. But this is just
Mhm.
kind of like getting the overarching concepts of personnel, like really going through the motion of like getting those people unearthed, because we know it's still going to have a somewhat of a strenuous process of them being actually incorporated into the group. So they still got to meet thresholds of authentic dialogue, coming to,
Mhm.
group meetings and all the things we said would be our natural barriers. So we still going to have 6 months to play with. So we need to like get people unearthed and really starting to push them through the process like as fast as possible. So I think just being generic is the best way forward.
So I'm looking at the doc, our steward group phases doc, and in phase two, Lawrence, you laid out the personnel needs per 5 acres, 10 to 25 people, and we have like 2 lead growers, 1 carpenter, 1 handy person, 1 food preservationist, et cetera, right? So that's going to be the spreadsheet. Um, how about, and when I think about like marketing being next, I know that there's several things that we're going to be marketing, right? So we're marketing for personnel. We're also marketing to raise money. I feel like those are the 2 things that we're marketing for, intentionally around village planning. So, but then there's also the greater collectively sustainable marketing that's ongoing, that's been running, that, has been going on social media, running, that Lawrence, you've been, pushing, and then other members been tagging collectively sustainable, and all that's been like moving and gearing up. I'm sorry, it's been accelerating, and more people are talking about it, and more stuff is going online. So that's like the greater marketing, right? How do we market towards the village? Like, how is that going to be a little different? Or is that just like an internal marketing? We just need to do a better job of internal marketing within Heartbeat and calling that out, because that's what comes to mind for me. That's probably the channel. Or is it, because it's 150 last time I looked, people, some odd people in Heartbeat. Yeah, what y'all think about that? Is
Yeah,
that
I
an
think
internal, external thing?
say it one more time.
Just reiterating, I'm said the same
Oh,
thing over. Internal or external marketing?
yeah. I think what you say, both and goddamn, yeah, so both and.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think the problem is I'm very mindful of what I'm saying and when I'm saying it. Right now, we got the Roots Initiative. I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure out how we can even start to market our own, back to basics program. So I wouldn't necessarily spearhead that construct of marketing. But I think definitely to market it internally would be just, it makes the most sense, because these are people who are already buying into the culture, right? And these are people who are already like submitting their application to live a different life. So they would be the ones we definitely need to talk to first. But I think if somebody else had the capability and the bandwidth to really start maybe a push on the outside, that maybe we could just tag collectively sustainable in, and if that would probably work on the outside too. I think if we had property, or like, let's say we went somewhere and it was just like purely a marketing campaign, and I'm standing in front of a sign like, "Hey, we're about to buy 100 acres on you." No, excuse me. We're about to buy 100 acres. Join us for this and this and this over at YouTube. I can do something like that, but I wouldn't be able to continuously like beat the street, so to speak.
Got you. Um, yeah, so to me, that seems like step one, right? It's like, and I'm open to anybody else also chiming in, but that seems like step one. Step one in terms of marketing outreach seems like internal marketing. We got these personnel needs. Who can we start checking the box with us starting? We're going to do the activity ourselves today, see which boxes we all check as the people who've been showing up consistently. But then, like, whoever has the capacity to add that to the things that all of us are already doing, or just all of us, when it comes to mind as one other thing that we're marketing internally, like, hey, we're village planning. whether we're doing it, Lawrence, you're proposing we move it to once a month. So we're village planning in these ways. You talk about some boots on the ground type initiatives where we're going out and helping, I imagine, with like the Roots campaign type thing, activities, digging, hands in the dirt. And so we're doing it in those ways. And then we're also having meetings of the mind, once a month or something going forward. And
Yeah.
and just continuing to do those things. So that's what I'm hearing. It's like you're proposing, if we're doing village planning, we're doing it in person, contributing to what's going on with Roots. And then also once a month coming together like this, whether it's in person or virtually, to talk about the progress of doing the activities that we should be doing right now, which is filling in personnel. And we about to get our fundraiser stuff churning as well. So yeah, does that make sense? Mello, Cynthia, y'all got any thoughts?
Yeah, I did have a couple thoughts. One is I think it's still a good idea to market this externally too, because that can be a draw for someone that has not joined yet when they see, because that I feel like shows a level of seriousness of our organization. So that could be a tipping point for someone who maybe was considering, they say, oh, they're planning a whole village, let me join. So I
Mhm.
don't think it should just be internal. I think it should be both internal and external marketing, because I think that's a really important pivotal piece of what we're doing is, building this village. And I think it should definitely be represented on the website as well. The village, there should be a village page, there should be a fundraising page to attract investors, all those things, because that markets for you 24/7, your website, because people can just go to it and get the information. They don't have to scroll through your YouTube page to look for a certain video. They don't have to go through your social media looking for particular information. They can just go to that page on your website. We can all share that page if we see a potential investor. Oh, here's a link to our investors page. This is what you'd be investing in.
Right.
And it'll give them a rundown of, what their contributions will do and what they'll help. Same with the village. Like, oh, we're building a village. Here's the link to that page. Tells you everything about what we're doing with the village planning, and so forth. So I think that's my thoughts on it. I think they kind of go hand in hand, and we need to be, promoting that the same way we're promoting the Roots or any other project that we're doing with Collectively Sustainable.
Okay. That makes sense to me.
I fully agree and resonate and feeling a similar sentiment. Like I think that if we do promote the village externally as well, I think that speaks to what we can do in collectively sustainable outside of the food. I think that with collectively sustainable, a lot of people may think that, oh, it's only for people who already know how to grow and to bake and make, and probably prevent people from feeling like empowered to join us, like because it's like, oh, I can't fit in that space. I know I was there, like feeling like I can't fit in this space because they're growers and I don't have those skills that they have yet, you know. But if we promote the village, that hey, we are about like um, shifting systems, shifting paradigms, and co-creating a new collectively sustainable village where we all learn these skills and share them. But amongst that, like emphasizing the other things and skills that we, bring to the table, like the authentic dialogue and conflict resolution and holding space and healing. Shoot. And I would like if that was emphasized more, like the fact that we're a healing community. So and I think the village,
We lost you, Kanisha.
You can think about it a little bit. Yeah. I think we got some. Yeah, I concur. So yeah, I think we'll have to do it. We're gonna have to do it both ways for sure. And I think with our YouTube channel, that might be an avenue. Miss Nicole here is our.
Yeah, yeah. definitely with what Cynthia was saying, the YouTube presence will probably definitely bring that person that you said is like, oh, I didn't know about this community, but I'm definitely aligned with something like this. They would probably be reached through YouTube, and we were just trying to get with Lawrence, trying to figure out how to put that together to where the YouTube channel can grow to be able to reach more people that's along the same lines of wanting to build community and, gardening and all the things, all the concepts that we align with.
Okay. I mean, everything makes sense, y'all. And I know we need more folks that's like showing up to like this meeting, for example, and offering their talents. Because I know all of us are doing stuff to our capacity, and there's so much more that needs to be done. And I know we're going to get it done, in time. And I know the right people are going to keep showing up in time. So yeah, I just think, we keep putting one foot in front of the other, and all this is going to continue to emerge. So I'm excited about that. Um, so I think in an effort to be like really organized about it, I want to have some clarity because we've said a lot, right? And I want to have some clarity on like next step. And I have down here on the document, um, I'll share my screen as well, but y'all know the doc I'm talking about, the working doc that we've been working on the stewardship. I'm sorry, the steward group phases doc. Um, So outreach and marketing, Cynthia was there. I just added you, Lawrence, and myself because I know that we're naturally on social media, and Lawrence, you're always just marketing globally. So it's going to happen. Um, and at different times, I put stuff up and I always do little thought pieces, and then I finish off with something about collectively sustainable, and or I tag it in the comments or in the posts, whatever. And So to write it out based on what we're saying, we got personnel marketing, and I just created a doc real quick, and I'm gonna drop the link here as well. Personnel marketing. This is the spreadsheet for it, and we're gonna do a little activity to see where all of us fall in here in just a moment. So we're talking about personnel marketing, and then we have fundraising marketing. I want to be clear going forward with these village planning meetings with what you were proposing. Um, Lawrence, village planning going forward. You're saying once a month, um, like activity. How would you name that, Lawrence? Once a month, you mentioned it. Like, how do you want to name that? Like, once a month, we're getting together to actively, let's say, skill build, or I see y'all on mute, so you must be busy, but anybody could jump in and help me out if you remember what he said. He said something about like learn how to dig the mulch. Once a
Yes,
month,
skill build is cool.
hands-on skill build. All right,
Yeah.
and then once a month, virtual slash in-person planning.
I think we can condense both of them. That's what I was proposing earlier, like just once a month. Like we could do all that. Let's say if we did the skill build first and then
Check in.
the virtual check-in part after, or either or. That way if somebody's still not there physically, they can still tune in and kind of catch what we're talking about. But I think just to knock it out in one swoop.
Okay. So village planning meetings going forward once a month, combining hands-on skill building and check-ins. Or let's say
So my call dropped and I missed some things after I was saying, but
okay.
I just wanted to clarify um for the next meetings there once a month and we're combining these. So do we want to expand the time? length of the meeting if we're also doing the skill building?
Um, I think that maybe we can do something dynamic, right? And kind of straddle lunch. And so that way we can do one part before lunch, then have lunch, then break and do the second part. So yes, I think expanding the time would make more sense since we're gonna meet one time. We should just
Mhm.
kind of have the social and the everything all in one.
You
Yeah,
still
this
think,
feel
still
like
think
like
it's
a
Sunday?
monthly retreat type vibe,
Yeah,
like
almost. Yeah.
like ceremony. Let's get it.
Are we still thinking Sundays?
Yes,
I like
Sundays.
Sundays.
All right.
I like
And
Sundays a lot.
so right now we are meeting on the what? The second and fourth? What is it? Second and fourth Sunday. Which Sunday y'all thinking? Second or fourth? What do we want to try?
I think the second because the fourth is kind of always like we always have that slated as a community day, and that's more like a powwow. So yeah, the second would be better for
Okay.
us.
Once a month, second Sunday. All right. So once a month on the second Sunday, combining hands-on skill building and planning going forward. And okay. Is there anyone who does not consent to this proposal or has something considerations we may not be thinking about that wants to speak up now? All right. So if your silence is your consent, all right. Okay. And let's see.
Oh, that just made me think we should have a consent.
And we talked about from a marketing outreach standpoint. So basically we're saying, we got this doc that has like all the foundational things, and the next step is like, now we got to build capacity. We got to continue to, attract people through our marketing outreach, continue to attract people through the stewardship center. So basically everything that Collectively Sustainable is doing already is going to feed into this. And for everything that Collectively Sustainable is doing and building towards, we're just going to add that internal marketing piece every time that second Sunday is coming around. Hey, y'all, internally, yo, we're over here. We're doing this. Everyone's invited to come see what it's about, come see what we're doing. If this is something of interest to you, we want to see you in the place. This is what we're doing. And then we just continue to kind of check things off that way. And then build capacity going forward. That sounds like what we got. All right, so unless there's questions, let's go ahead and look at the personnel. Y'all ready to look at the personnel groupings to see where we all fit?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go with the personnel needs. I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. If y'all can go ahead and jump in and just put your name next to where you fit. And or you can say something and I'll drop it in there. All the places where you fit.
Can you drop mine, Sanjay? It's gonna be hard on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do conflict resolution facilitator, child care specialist, communal kitchen cook, marketing, and fundraising. Can you do like, okay, what's like the minimal that we want to do, like
Yeah,
to be sustainable?
yeah. I think it's important that we don't stretch ourselves.
Right. So not the minimal, but the maximum that we want to do to be sustainable.
Your skill. You need 3 people.
Yeah, 3 positions, maybe 3 hats. I think
Three
anything
positions.
in 3 hats would be very difficult. And also, I want to kind of take some time out to kind of like really consider like some of these things are things that are done in real time, like carpentry, handy person, things like that. But like um, fundraising, for instance,
Mm,
is something that's real time as well, but it's not like physical. And like we need to like really indicate like how many hours one is going to contribute to be on that
mhm.
fundraising team or that fundraising person. Like we really got to carve that out before we start to load everything up because that's like we really have to have some metrics in place so that we can really be assured that somebody is carrying out the job in the specificity that they say they are capable of doing or that they are or we desire them to do it in. So I think that's something to kind of notate as well.
I literally was thinking about that, and wanted to ask you all, like, what do you think is like, should we have a minimal or maximum amount of required time to put in some type of, contribution to the community per week?
Yeah.
Um, and like, how can we, I like to frame things in a way that feels like, we're moving away from the way, from the system that we're coming from. So in a way that we, within working, like like we some kind of way that feels self-directed is what I'm trying to aim at. Like how we do in the agile learning community.
Can you give an example of what that would look like?
Um, so and that's why I'm really struggling with this because with self-directed education, people have the ability to opt in and opt out. And that's why I mentioned like using language to navigate, the time that's required versus like your time that you can work in more in flow. So like for example, I was thinking about how much time that I commit to doing certain things with like even if it's just how many hours I'm spending just holding space or helping somebody clean, like different people that I'm in community with. And I try not to do use metrics for the gifts that I share. I try to just do it. And but then sometimes when I do that, I turn around and look around and feel like I've done nothing. But then when I really think about it, I put in a lot of effort and love and intention into a lot. Um, so I'm just trying to, yeah, navigate how to, at the same time intentional. I'm sorry if I was rambling. If somebody understood what I was saying, let me know.
I
I
think
was
I
trying, I
understand
was
what you're
thinking.
saying. I think I understand what you're saying, Kenesha. And I think that what's coming to mind for me is I hear what you're saying. I think that there needs to be, especially when we start, there needs to be a minimal commitment of like hours that I feel like the initial folks, phase one builders pretty much are committed to putting in to build this thing, that we're committing to the community, to each other, to really create a foundation from which, one that feels sustainable. Um, I think that's important. And yeah, that's what I'll say. That's what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. Of course, everything is iterative, everything is emergent, but that's what feels right to me right now, similar to what Lawrence was saying. And if you think about, I just don't think it has to be like 40 hours a week, work week type energy, because,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll take that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think that in order for it to feel collaborative and feel like we got each other's back, everyone's like, yo, I got these are the roles I got. And then of course I feel like there's gonna be some natural cross-pollination where,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm helping out the handy person. I'm helping out the growers. I'm helping out in the kitchen. I'm helping out, etc. Like I feel like some of that's naturally going to happen anyway. But I think at the bare minimum, we should all, choose our spots and commit to the minimal amount of time that, we feel like is needed. And of course, once we actually get in there, we're going to learn if we need more or less.
This just made me think about another position that's needed, and maybe it's within HR, but yeah, maybe it's within like HR, but like helping people filter out like, well, what, filter out their gifts and skills, but also like minimize like I would say confining like what gifts and skills do you really think you want to use? Because I know someone like me who like, oh, I want to do this, I can get like paralyzed with what I'm actually going to start doing because there's so many different things. So maybe that could also be another skill, part person that we're looking for, or maybe the position. Is that HR?
I mean, that's what we're doing right now. There's no HR position on here,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's what we're doing right now.
hmm
But it says two of whatever, one of whatever, three of whatever, and we're putting our names down. So that to me, that's like feels like it's saying what you just said. We're doing what you just said in terms of like opting into those things, and then we'll collectively hold each other accountable to what we commit to.
hmm
And keep in mind too, this is just early in the process. This is just, a lot of that's going to come down the line in terms of what that's really going to look like in real time. But for now, I think it's good just to put down, like Lauren said, 3 hats. I think is it a solid three, or 2 to 3, or it's like no, we want everyone that comes in and that per 5 acres to wear 3 hats for sure.
No,
hmm
I think that's a little much. I wouldn't stretch anybody like that. I'm just saying for the first 5 acres, the first people on ground are more than likely going to have to wear multiple hats. But the objective is that's why we're looking at 100 acres. The first 5 acres should be the first. Let's just call them settlers, right? The people who
Yeah.
might have to put in the infrastructure for the farm, put in the infrastructure for the housing. Maybe they have that skill set. They might have to, again, like be multi-talented. But as we expand, we're going to be bringing in people to lessen that load on those folks as well, and then also adding in the different variations of skills or services or just people that we want to have in the space. So yeah, the first tier, the first echelon, the boots on the ground, those people are probably more than likely going to have 2 or 3 hats that they wear.
Okay. All right. Can we get y'all names on there? Um, Lawrence, Ashley, you want to say it out loud? Can you do it? Or you want me to just put it in if you say it out loud or put it in the chat?
Okay, so for Ashley, you could put me down for lead grower, farmer and husbandry. Food preservationist. And wherever that's it.
Yeah. So what we want to do is also like leave room for other people to jump in as well. So I don't want people to like super stack it. So let's just start with 2 things right now, and then we'll kind of.
Oh.
I think that's honest
Mm.
I like creative.
because the first 5 acres is going to be 5 to 25 people. So again, we're just people short. We're not position short. We have more than enough positions for the people that we're calling for. So let's
Wow.
yeah.
You said it says 10 to 25 people, right?
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, I'm not looking at it, but
Okay.
yeah, up to 25 is the point. So we want to have personnel that again can kind of take the weight off, one person's shoulder. So
hmm
one or two things I think is honest.
All right. So I imagine you'll
Wow.
also be a lead grower, right, Lawrence?
Uh
Oof.
Or you want to put your hat on for something else?
I like the eco living engineer.
All right.
Food preservation and
Animal husbandry.
Hunter
And I
processor.
would actually be a processor. Yeah, I would more than likely want to be more in the processing.
All right.
Are you good? Yeah, and we're gonna let Nicole say next. But lead grower, farmer, husbandry, yeah, now lead grower now.
Okay.
Um,
But I could.
Oh, wow. This is
so you said that the three is next to the communal kitchen and cook alchemist. So
Yes.
that'd be 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay, I could put myself there. And also I like the creatives
Okay.
section.
All right.
So when we make this list, this is the list that we're talking, designating the amount of hours that we're going to spend for, right? So with like doing these things for such and such amount of hours. So the 2 things I choose, I'm going to do these 2 things for, say, let's just throw out 20 hours per week
Right.
or 15 hours per week. Okay.
Do you want to name that now, Lawrence? How many hours you want to name that now?
Well, yeah, I can't really say right now. I was speaking more so like that's what I was saying, like carpentry and things that are physical are one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we're gonna be living on the land, it's like what you do, man. I like to reference the movie The Last Samurai, man, for anybody who watched that before. Last Samurai? No? Okay, Last Samurai was like basically talking about the old way of life and like how everybody had their pathway and like you woke up and just did that thing. Like that was your thing. And it's like it's no that's when Kanisha, I hear what you're saying with like I do a lot of this stuff all day, every day. So if I put my hours on, it's gonna be 20 hours. I've been up since 4 a.m. this morning. So it's like once we find our path, it's like it's just your thing. I don't think you really need to put hours on it. I was more so saying like as we grow the concept and like we need the fundraisers and we need the marketers, like we need somebody to like go to farmers market. So it's like the same stuff we've been doing with collectively sustainable and asking people to put their honest efforts in as far as like, hey, can you do it 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week? That's just an honest, like an honest dig. I think once we get to the property and get to the land, like what you say with the spirit of what you were saying earlier, Kanisha, which is your offering. Some things are gonna have to be more tactile. Like if you are the lead carpenter or the lead grower, like that's just inevitable. You're gonna have to work probably more than some other folks in some capacity. So it wouldn't be a way to put an hour on the lead grower versus the lead carpenter when there's nothing to build. You know what I mean? But food got to be produced. So it's like really like we can't really make a metrics out of those things yet until we get to the property, get to the land, and we see what we have to do. I think right now the construct of time and metrics just is appearing solely in us marketing and trying to build and galvanize with like the resources that we need. So that's kind of what I was talking about.
I think even in that, and we don't got to choose it now, but it would be cool to just have like a minimum commitment to the community type of thing. Because even if the
Yeah.
carpenter isn't building anything per se, it's like, all right, well, my minimum hour commitment to the community is 10 hours a week. Then I don't got nothing to build today or fix today. So I'm gonna go over here and help the lead grower or the processor
Yes.
or the
Right.
herbalist or the forager. You know what I mean?
Okay, I got you. So basically we just need to have some kind of standardized rubric, period.
Yes.
That's what I think. At least to
Minimum. Yes.
start until we have enough capacity where all those things are in organically just happening.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
At least to start.
So our
Yeah.
framework that we're using here is just really 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. So that's 10 hours a week. I think that's honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be honest, and that's a real commitment too, 2 hours a day. So I think that's an honest way to
Oh.
and I mean we're functioning as somewhat of a prototype. So with even Miss Bernice, doing food
Wow.
preservation and things like that. Like on the days that she doesn't have anything to preserve, yes, she does come outside and help with the fertilizing and the pruning and things like that. She's learning how to build. Miss Nicole is there learning how to can and build and things. So we're already kind of doing that with that same time constraint or time um requirement, I guess. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week.
So how would system thinkers work? Like what's the job description for that or the role description for systems thinker? I'm a system thinker, but I'm just trying to see what that role would look like in the village.
I don't think I didn't put it, so I don't know, but I do see there's no like, collaborative governance facilitator. Um, that's definitely needed. You know what I mean? Someone to facilitate the collaborative decision-making processes, consent-based decision-making processes, et cetera. That's definitely needed. Community meeting facilitator, all those type of things.
See,
Um,
those I see as like those are like the plus ones. Especially starting out, that's kind of like the second hat. So somebody who might be the systems thinker, we know like 2 hours a day on system thinking. It's like, okay, maybe you don't need 2 hours, right? Maybe it is something that you're contemplating that you do need to give 5 hours of the week to. Then you got it done, it's drafted, the emails have been sent. Okay, cool. Now the systems thinker is probably going to have to shift to doing something like it has to be something else that's tied to those kind of constructs. So even like fundraising. So the things that are more so and again, we're speaking in like no real framework yet, but I'm just kind of shooting at the hip or shooting from the hip. So it's like I think like coming in, we need to really tie down the edifice that we need for sustainability, and that doesn't negate the aspects of healing or the systems thinkers or things like that. But that might just need to be a both and. Like you might have to be the compost guy and the systems thinker. You might have to be the farmer and the herbalist. You know what I mean, or the seamstress and the caregiver. So
yeah,
it's like I believe that's just going to be one of those things that we have to really just etch out.
definitely. I didn't put systems thinker, so I at least I don't remember doing it. I just put, if everyone's okay with it, next to conflict resolution, I put / community meeting facilitator.
Yeah.
I just put that there because that's, everything that I've been doing, for example, just facilitating this process
Yeah.
is similar to, you know, um, the type of organizational facilitation that's going to be needed for decision making. Collaborative decision making is a skill set. It is a process that's needed in community. Facilitating that process, you know. So I mean, systems thinker, y'all want to just remove it?
Yeah, I think that's what the one that Mello brought up last time. I think that was the one that we were speaking on earlier. It was systems thinker. And yeah, kind of like a lot of us are already in that space of just like walking away from the system. We're already like systems thinkers.
Mhm.
That's our essence. So we don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
have
Right,
to.
right.
essence.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, when I thought of systems thinking, for me personally, it's me filling in multiple roles. Like right now, I'm in the education system, learning agriculture, I'm learning carpentry. Like I could fill in and put those aspects together to create a better system. That's how I think of systems thinking.
Yeah.
So the way I guess I won't want to be a lead grower. I want to be a grower, a carpenter, a handy person, a food prep. Like I could do like all. So that's why I put systems thinking, just adding to those aspects. So
Could you choose two,
I
Mello? Just
guess,
for the sake of starting out, just choose two. You know what I mean?
I
Of course, we can
guess,
always help out in other areas.
yeah. So what's eco living engineer? I'm thinking more of a permaculturist or like this, like
I love it.
what is eco living engineer? How would you describe it? Who's on there? Lawrence? Yeah, I'm reading it right.
What was that you looking at, Mello?
Eco living engineer. So what that role? How would you describe that role?
With me, it's more like if you're familiar with Earth bag homes or Mother Earth ships, it's like a construct of like utilizing the natural lay of the land, the natural ecosystem to like benefit you the most or to co-create the best to move more fluently. So it's like
Okay.
orientation of the homes, where would the home go as far as the kitchen, where does the water go? That's gray water. Where do we put our waste at? Because we're going to be off grid. Where is it? Where is that going as it pertains to the water springs and waterways? So that's more
Mhm.
of the that construct.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think on everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I just have
You'll
to.
come back to
I feel.
this.
I feel. Say what?
So you saying you want to come back to?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to it
Okay.
because
But I
yeah.
I do want to say that this speaks to that position I was talking about. Because even though you said that this list was doing that, like once we get to this list and it's like, oh, like I think because a lot of these are our essence, like people who are moving toward this life, it's like, oh, this is, I want to just be in community and do these things that I like, love to do. And it could be a lot of different things. Um, and that's not going to look the same way within the time metrics as in the system that we're coming from. So, like maybe helping people break down their starter too for this list, like as we transition, like what's the person? Because I think it's gonna take a lot of processing. So that could be a cool position. Yeah, this process is healing actually, because it's like, oh, like this, I can choose. Right now I'm choosing what I want to do for a community that we're co-creating, not something that it's like I gotta work all these hours. Anyway, I'm sorry for rambling, but I think this is so healing.
For what you're saying, Kanisha, it feels like that's kind of the process I'm kind of doing and leading, like
Hmm.
community meeting facilitator. I've been like wearing that hat since we started this process.
Yeah, yeah, you are doing it. So like, okay, yeah, maybe as like while we're doing the list and we're thinking about it, like even like somebody like Mello who's like, oh, I can do these all. Let me think on it a little bit more. Like it's still happening right now while you're doing it.
Okay. So this is a start, it gives us an idea of kind of mapping out those of us who've been showing up, to these meetings. Deirdre's not here. Deirdre's been a consistent person to show up. I think Deirdre would probably fall in the for one is the fundraising part, based on, her committing to be a divester. Um, and I don't think Deirdre is someone who is looking to move onto the land with us. Um, so Deirdre is more kind of like, and I'll let Deirdre speak for herself, but that's kind of where what I think for now, based on our conversations and based on how she's been contributing and showing up. And as a member of Collectively Sustainable, um, in general, but also, her role in this with us and what she wants to do as a divester. Um, she's already committing to putting up a certain amount of money. I'll just say, she said it before, like $100,000 towards buying land, for example. So that's something to, keep in mind. I don't know where that falls, but that's, someone who's been willing to commit their time and energy and also willing to put up money, um, et cetera. So that feels like something a little different. Um, so yeah. Um, So, all right, y'all. Well, I'm feeling like, we got our instructions at this point. We're like in full on like outreach mode. I'm supposed to be putting together a fundraising committee. I know Ashley and someone else is already writing grants um, but that's something on my to-do list. I'm getting to it. I've been in this transitionary phase. So, in terms of like figuring out what I'm doing to make money and work and all these different things. So it's taking me a little time, but I'm gonna get to it. So yeah, it's just like, does everyone feel clear on what's next and what we're doing? As of right now, I guess we'd be waiting for you, Lawrence, to talk about, provide us the opportunity for the next in-person, for the, hands-on skill building aspect of it.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah, so I'm kind of nailing those things down now. We're about to have some yeah, we're gonna have some really soon because there's some maybe some schools or institutions, I'd say, that we might be installing roots in, like, or incorporating roots in. So that might be a good place to have more hands at one place, one
Mm-hmm.
destination. If y'all have people in your areas who are interested, definitely tag in, plug them in, send
Mm-hmm.
them the link for the Roots Initiative, and we can kind of even bounce around to that area as well. But yeah, I want to kind of structure that to be, already in the book so everybody knows where we're meeting, the time frame, the whole nine. So yeah, that'll be really soon. I'm working on that now.
Okay, so we'll check in with you before, leading into the next meeting on the second Sunday of September. I know we're working on getting these stewardship centers off the ground, and all this is kind of interrelated, is all playing into to this ultimate goal of also getting a village going as well in time. So yeah, raising the money and attracting the people is all a part of it. And I feel like what we've been doing in this process is just casting vision. We've been casting vision together, laying out the framework and the steps, and so it'll be clearer as more and more people show up. So, anyone else want to share anything about before we? I feel like we're clear for today. Before we exit, anyone else want to share anything? Any thoughts? Any questions? Any feelings or anything?
Y'all know I'll share some feelings of gratitude. Thank y'all. Um, I'm just excited to be doing this with y'all. It's a dream come true, literally.
Cool, cool. All right, then, y'all. Till next time, enjoy the rest of y'all weekends, and I know we'll be meeting up, greeting up, getting things done together. Peace.
All right.
Ciao.